welcome to Wednesday Wandering with me, Kate Field. Wandering about stuff and not just wandering off, although the sun is shining and the beach is calling. But this is the place where we explore creativity, inspiration, and the deeper rhythms of life. And today I'm reflecting on Lent and the art of letting go. Lent is often thought of as a season of sacrifice, of giving something up. But I like to see it as an invitation to release what weighs us down, to soften our grip on what no longer serves us, and to trust in the unfolding of things. Letting go it's not about loss. It's about making space. And as artists, writers, creatives, we know that space is where creativity breathes. The creative process is full of moments of surrender. We start with a vision, a plan, an expectation, and then something shifts. The paint bleeds in an unexpected way. The gel plate doesn't work. Did you watch my last tutorial? The words refuse to arrange themselves neatly and the clay takes a shape of its own. And suddenly we have a choice. Do we fight for control or do we let go and allow something new to emerge? Georgia O'Keeffe, one of my favourite painters, one of the most influential painters of the 20th century, she said, to create one's own world takes courage. Courage and trust. Letting go isn't passive, it's an act of faith. And in the Bible we are reminded of this over and over again. And I keep coming back to Psalm 46 verse 10, where we hear those wonderful, wonderful, powerful words, be still and know that I am God. That stillness, the surrender, the trust, the same qualities that deepen our spiritual lives, I feel, deepen our creative practice. And I ask this question. What are you holding on to? As we move through Lent, it's a good time to ask this. What am I holding on to that I don't need, that no longer serves me? Is it perfectionism, that voice that says, if it's not perfect, it's not worth doing? Or is it comparison, that constantly looking outwards and at other people, that kind of steals our joy, doesn't it? Well, she's doing so much better than me. What the hell am I doing? Or is it fear? That fear that whispers, you're not good enough. Who do you think you are? One of my favourite poets, Mary Oliver. I've talked about her before, did a whole podcast on her. She often illuminates this kind of sacred in the ordinary. And she wrote, you don't have to be good. You don't have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. Her poem Wild Geese is just this glorious invitation to let go of shame, to let go of striving or the need to prove ourselves. And it's really worth reading. You might want to check back on my podcast. I believe this is what creativity is. It's a return to joy, to play, to exploration, free from the weight of that heavy expectation. And I think of Agnes Martin, another one of my favourite artists, American abstract painter, kind of serene, meditative canvases embodying stillness. She was born in 1912 and she's known for these serene works that evoke a sense of stillness, of harmony, of transcendence. And she's often associated with minimalism, but she actually rejected that and preferred to call herself, or at least align herself more with the abstract expressionists, which I think is actually really quite interesting. because her work is deeply rooted in themes of spirituality, of silence, and the pursuit of inner peace. Ideas that resonate beautifully, I think, with Lent and this concept of letting go. Martin believed that art should be a place of peace, which is how I feel as well. Yes, we can be angry and we can respond to stuff, but she stripped away everything that was unnecessary. Unnecessary ornament, she called it. The complexity, excess. She wanted to allow a quiet presence to emerge. She said the value of art is in the observer. When people say my work is nothing, I think, how could they be so mistaken? It's about everything. She wrote, we respond to beauty with emotion. Beauty speaks a message to us. We are drawn to it as to truth. So what would happen if we let go of everything unnecessary in our lives, and especially in our creative work? If we painted only what felt essential? If we wrote only what felt true? This idea of surrendering control and trusting the process and allowing the work to emerge, I think, aligns beautifully with the creative journey and the spiritual practice of Lent. I can't separate the two personally in my own practice. I think that Lent invites us to do this, to strip back the noise, to create from a place of stillness, like Agnes Martin's practice of daily stillness and the simplicity, contemplation. This can be a parallel to our Lenten journey. Whether you are Christian or not, use this time. Lent encourages us to reflect, to remove distractions, and to focus on what truly matters. Martin's paintings invite us into a space of quiet contemplation and peace. And she believed in the power of beauty to uplift the soul, and this is absolutely my passion too. I see art as a way to reach a higher state of consciousness. It connects me with the world. For artists, writers and creatives, especially those reflecting on Lent and the art of letting go, Agnes Martin's approach could be really inspiring. So we can embrace simplicity. We can strip away all the stuff that we don't need in both art and life, and we can focus on what truly matters. We can let go of control and trust the creative process. We can surrender to inspiration, and we can allow space for stillness. We can release perfectionism, because art and faith, it's not about achieving perfection. It's about being present. It's about being here. Find peace in this kind of repetition of daily creative and spiritual practice, and these can be really healing, I think, and meditative. Creating from stillness. I really love this idea. Not striving, but from a quiet and an open heart. If you'd like to explore this idea in your own creative practice, I've got a little exercise for you. Take a deep breath and close your eyes. And think of something that you're holding on to. A creative block maybe, or a fear of something, a self-doubt. Write it down, give it a name, give it a silly name. Acknowledge it, acknowledge that it's there. I see you. And now create something in response. It could be a drawing, a collage, a short piece of writing, a haiku, a little poem. But here's the rule. You must let it be imperfect. No overthinking, no controlling, just creating with openness. Because Lent is not about punishment. It's about transformation It's about learning to trust that when we let go, there is always more waiting for us. So as we close, I'll leave you with the words of Julian of Norwich, the 14th century mystic, whose words I come back to quite a lot, and whose quiet faith has inspired so many. All shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. May you find peace in releasing what no longer serves you. May your creativity flow freely, unburdened, and may you trust in the unfolding of things. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this episode resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Perhaps you'd like to leave a comment below. Perhaps you'd like to share this with someone who might enjoy it too. And as always, keep creating with joy. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.